Nnamdi Kanu strike back from prison. Final judgment may be on hold as he may not be present for the final hearing. Yes, my dear listeners, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is finally striking back from prison. After a careful look at Omotosho's decision, after he refused to enter defense, the IPOP leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said to himself that, okay, for this reason, no need of um, entering for the final judgment. So, for that reason, my dear listeners, the IPOP leader may not be in court for the final judgment. Yes, and the motion, which is essential, a request to stop or delay the judgment, has to be addressed first. They argue, the defense says there are serious issues with the legal foundation of the case that will be resolved before any final decision is made. What does that mean? Though it means simple but important. The defense is calm. The law that was used against Kanu is outdated. It is not it's no longer applicable. Yes, and should never have happened. The defense says that without addressing this very judgment is not supposed to hold. This is about Nnamdi Kanu life, they said. It's very high to say and very, very expensive to decide. Yes, he said. A due process has to be overlooked on this other hand, as said. The charges against Kanu are serious and have far-reached implication. He has been accused promoting secession and inciting violence. These are not light charges, and there is no doubt that this case is not just a legal issue, but a deeply political one. Now, let's break it down a bit more. Kanu has been in detention for quite some time, and his trial has been dragged on. The charges against him are serious, and they stem from his calls from the southeastern part of Nigeria, a region predominantly inhabited by the people. His call for Biafran independence have been met with opposition from the Nigerian government, which views them as a threat of a national unity. This has turned his trial into a flashy one. Now, federalism and security has now become a thing of present. They argued that the laws being used to prosecute Kanu were either repealed or amended long before his arrest, and because of this, he believed the trial should be halted until the motion they filed is properly checked. They want the court to consider whether or not to look into this issue before this judgment is passed. Yes, the court is expected to deliver its judgment if that argument goes forward without considering the right thing. My dear listeners, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has finally, right from the prison, said if the court refused to give this question of his a proper address, that he doesn't mind still remaining in detention. He said he doesn't mind because he is having a clear confidence that Justice Omotosho may likely give that judgment in favor of the Nigerian government. So for that reason, he's saying that he's not coming to that very court. Now, this goes beyond just Nnamdi Kanu himself. The case has become a symbol of how the government and the judiciary handle this case. It's about how far the government is willing to go to maintain this very case and how much room it will to give for regional voices. Yes, my dear listeners, though international personality has been showing interest and also have been borrowing their voices on this very matter, but how many of these voices or how many of these international voices has been listened to, or have they really paid attention to? These people have been calling and been giving their own opinions and advice. How many of these voices and advice has the Nigerian government really given an attention to? It means that these people are actually wasting their time. So, my dear listeners, I think Nnamdi Kanu is still very much right at this point. Kanu's team is arguing that if the judgment is delivered without considering the motion, the entire trial could be seen fundamentally flawed. And here is where we get to, my people. Nnamdi Kanu is speaking facts. Kanu supporters have really made it very clear that the opinion of the IPOB leader, right from the time he entered his defense himself, has been a justified one. First of all, he asked the court, at what law are you trying me? Because Nnamdi Kanu already know that the law they are bringing, they are focusing on to try him is already an outdated one. A law that has been quashed, a law that has been dismissed, a law that is no longer in existence. A country like Nigeria, an independent country like Nigeria, still focusing on an old law, outdated law. Okay, if they actually know that that very law is still in existence, why introducing the new law? Why introducing the new constitution? A law that a country like Nigeria have sat and said, we are no longer using this very law. This very law no longer exists. Why are they now going back to that very law? Because they want to get back at Nnamdi Kanu. Because they have seen that all that they are saying, that Nnamdi Kanu has a upper hand against and ahead of them using the new law. So they are afraid. Check it. Almost everything Nnamdi Kanu has been saying has been in response to the new law. They have seen it that, oh, if we keep making use of this new law, Nnamdi Kanu will keep winning this case. So they have to, draw back and start making use of the old law. What betide them? They have failed. They have failed. So that very judgment should get a hold on. They should get a hold on that very judgment. So 20th of September judgment may not hold until the federal government give a proper address of that very decision of theirs, of moving quickly into judgment. Not giving a critical look at Nnamdi Kanu's question, by not paying attention and by not giving an answer to that very question. They will ask Nnamdi Kanu question, Nnamdi Kanu will reply them. But Nnamdi Kanu's own case, they will not want to reply him. That is just it. My dear listeners, please help me to share this very video. Let it go viral and let everyone see the politics that is being played in this very channel and in this very case. Thank you.